So it's Monday. And if I learned anything from Elena Rose Dumaine, it is that Mondays are for doing whatever the fuck you feel like, not for hustle culture or grinding or anything like that. So I just thought I would pop on here and record a little content while I am kind of just getting settled for the week and see how that flows. Whew. Ha. Ha. If you are as extremely online as I am, this weekend was a bitch. Fuck. Y'all. I mean, oh boy. The latest dump of Epstein documents are just, validating, right? Extremely validating to anybody who has been trying to tell us for the last 30 years. I mean, this shit's been going on forever, like literally forever. And I just realized there's a book I want to share with you and it's downstairs. So I need to decide if I want to pause the video. Yeah, I'll just pause. I'll be back. Okay, I grabbed the book. I'll get to it in a little bit. But yeah, we're this weekend, right? This weekend's document dump, and just how deep the rabbit hole goes, just how everything that every survivor tried to tell us that was brushed off as being too outlandish, right? To those of us who've lived a pretty, sheltered life and don't have the lived experience of that type of horror, right? Whew. Yeah, so if you're doing the work of witnessing this stuff, and remember, it is work, and this is like divine work. This is a lot of the work that a lot of us came here to do. Like if you have a lived experience of traumas that are on the level of this information and you have not healed from them, this is not your work. I'm talking to the people who have not lived through this type of trauma, and or the people who have that lived experience that have already alchemized that into into a level of power where they are able to hold space. And yeah, I'm just going to sit with that for a minute because it's really bringing up a lot for a lot of us, right? So if you want to join me in just moving a little bit of this energy, I would like to extend that invitation. Don't feel like this is an obligation. And if you don't want to join, you can listen in. You can just turn off the video right now if that is what makes you feel better. But yeah, I had been doing these podcasts kind of back in the fall, and they were like podcasts with energy work in them, and I think I'm going to bring those back, but I just need to figure out where I'm going to fit them in my routine and my schedule right now. But yeah, right now I feel the need to release some of this energy that I've kind of, that has gotten stuck here from witnessing this this latest document dump, this latest batch of revelations. Yeah, so I'm just going to take a minute and I'm going to come back inside myself. I'm checking in with my body. My eyes are like gently closed, but I'm not like squeezing them shut. And I'm sitting in a chair and I'm comfortably seated so that my spine is stacked, my butt is planted into the chair, and I have my feet flat on the ground right now. I'm just going to take a few deep breaths here. just allowing that energy to move, because this type of attack, which is what we're seeing is absolutely an attack, this type of attack, well, we can call it a greeting, we can call it a friendly greeting, right? We don't want to meet it with the hatred and anger that it meets us with. But this type of friendly greeting that we get from, the violence of having this information made public and having, I speak for myself here, but I don't think I'm alone in that it has gotten me stuck in the scroll to a degree that I have not been for several months. This type of maneuver or greeting that we're undergoing works on freeze. It puts you in a freeze state. It keeps you scrolling, right? But it, how many did you, like, if when you've read these documents, how many times do you stop breathing, right? How many times do you just go, and you just forget to breathe, right? Or your body just like kind of you withdraw into your body. Your safety feels threatened, because it is, because this is threatening information. This is very, very grim, very, very negative polarity, right? We could call it evil, but that is, of course, good and evil are always relative terms. You gotta, just stop scrolling with me right now, just for a moment, and check in with your body and feel your energy start to move again, because I know that this information is getting us frozen. It's getting you stuck, and that's how it works. And so if you are doing the work of witnessing right now, bearing witness to these atrocities, to these to the systemic horrors that have been going on our whole lifetimes, if you have been doing the work of bearing witness to that, just take a moment with me and let's start moving some of that energy. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect in with the base of our spine, kind of that root center, root chakra area, kind of right in front of the tailbone, right behind the two sits bones. Just feel that center, that ball of energy, that chakra, kind of just feel into it. And then I want you to imagine that there's a beam of light that goes from that center all the way down, and we're going to send it down into the center of the planet, connect us into Mother Earth. Our Earth Mother, and just feel a bit of a hello back from her. Feel the support that she gives you. Feel the fact that the ground has not fallen out from underneath you. As earth-shattering as this information may seem, that you are still standing or seated, you are still alive, breathing in a safe space, giving thanks for that space. Now we've got that connection with the earth, and so we're going to just kind of let go of any static in our field, anything that's in our space that's kind of stagnant or not moving. We're just going to kind of get the energy moving in our auras. So I like to imagine that I have a like one of those big nets that you use to clean leaves out of a pool. Or you could use like a fish net, or you can use a scrub brush or anything like that, whatever feels right to you. And we're just going to kind of start going around the aura. So your electromagnetic field, which is a bubble that's about and like a comfortable arm's length away, not as extended arm's length, but kind of right. You can't see my arms because this is portrait video, but extend your arms out just with a gentle bend, kind of like on either side, and just kind of raise them up and down and around, and like feel where your aura is. And then once you've kind of felt into that, take that that pool skimmer, that fish net, that scrub brush, whatever it is, and we're just going to kind of spin it around and kind of going around the aura, and you're going to catch up anything that's kind of caught in your space, and you're going to kind of just brush it out, scrub it out. Yeah. And when that pool net gets full, you can just like stick it out of your space and imagine it going over some mountains or over a hill or into the ocean or something, and you can just kind of dump it out way over there and just imagine that it just kind of disperses when you do that. Yeah, just continuing to go all around your aura, making sure that you're getting behind you, because a lot of times we will stuff things behind us in our auras and not really notice that it's there. That's kind of where we put our like save that for later. So if that's probably kicking some stuff up for you, you can just keep kind of sweeping it away. Maybe you have a broom and a dustpan, sweep it into that dustpan, and then you can either dump it. Imagine that dustpan can reach all the way over the mountains or all the way over the hills into the ocean, out into space, and you can just dump it out. Or you can put it into a bubble and then go move that out of your space and blow it up. All sorts of different ways you can just move that energy out. And you're just dispersing this energy. You're just letting it kind of explode. Just popping it, making it go away. Okay. And as we're completing that, there's going to be some stuff that's left over. There's going to be some gunk. And for me, I can tell it's behind my right shoulder right now. It's kind of like I was illustrating earlier. There's like this space where you just kind of chuck stuff over your shoulder, and it's for, we'll get back to that later. I'm not going to process that right now. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to, just stick it over there. We'll deal with it later. So, what I see that as right now is it's just a huge stack of paperwork. It's like a fucking stack of bills that's this high, and it's got us in freeze mode. It's got me in freeze mode. And so I'm going to move that stuff. I'm going to move that stack of papers, whatever it is, in front of me. And I am going to sit with this for a moment, make sure that all the papers, anything else in my aura, I see some more papers kind of flying onto that stack from other places, like down around my feet, flying onto that stack. And we are going to use a technique that I learned from Elena Rose Dumaine of Harvest Rose Witchery that also very closely correlates with a technique that we learned in my advanced psychic training with Awakening Sanctuary. And we are going to give all of this information to our friends from like our star family. There's a particular group of star family who are specifically here to help us remove this karmic baggage, this information from the earth, right? And so we do, we always like to ground our space out, and we do release things into the earth, but there are some things that Mother Earth has had more than fucking enough of, and she just can't take it because it's not hers to process. And this document dump, this stack of papers that's sitting in front of us, is absolutely an example of this type of information. And so what I want you to do is we're just going to imagine one of those big copy machines that, like, you would, if you ever worked in an office and you ever had to go make copies, like you walk into the copy room and there's this copy machine that's like 3 feet tall, and it's like, 1.5 feet wide, like this big, huge copy machine. And so we're gonna make copies of this information, and it's going to be transmitted up to this family, this star nation that's ready to take this. That's what they're here to do. They came here to help us process this karma, and so we're just going to start feeding these documents. Okay, and so the documents are going to go into the copy machine. Okay, they're going to go through the copy machine. It's going to make a copy, but it's an electronic, it's like a scanner. It's not actually going to make copies of the paper, right? And then that paper is just going to go straight into the shredder that's right behind it. Okay, so if you've ever worked in like an admin job, you can kind of imagine this setup where like we'll just take the stack of papers off the top, stick it on the copy machine, hit the button. They're going to go through, it's going to scan them, and then that original is just going to go straight into a shredder that's like a really fucking fine shredder, right? With shredder with crosscut, it's going to make confetti out of it, okay? So we're going to, let's take that first stack, right? You can either use your physical hands or you can just see it happen in your mind. Take that first stack of, a couple hundred sheets and just plop it on top of that copy machine, hit that green button, and just watch those start to go. And they're just going to go through. And the copy machine gets made. That information that is scanned off of it is just going straight up into the neural network of this star nation. They're taking that information, they are alchemizing it. They're gonna deal with it, right? They're here to help. This isn't ours to. This evil predates civilization on Earth. Okay. And these are our like cosmic homies that are here to help out with it. Yeah, so we're just going to put those documents on that copy machine. That first stack is almost done. It's all through the shredder. Just pick up the next stack, watch it go. Yeah, and so we're just going to bear witness to this kind of transmission of information, taking these stacks of paper, putting them on the copy machine, watching them get scanned, transmitted, and then shredded. Okay. And while we're watching that, we're just kind of making sure that there's always a stack of documents on the top, and then we're also going to make sure that shredder doesn't get full. So when the shredder's starting to get full, you can pull the basket out and we have a fire. So over maybe on the other side somewhere, there's a big, I see it as like an old school, like one of those wood stoves, like the cast iron style with a handle that you open the door, right? And there's a fire already going in this fireplace, and it's blue, okay? And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna shovel those, that like shredded paper, we're just going to shovel that in. Maybe we've got a funnel in the top, some way to just get that paper into that blue fire, okay? So these are the blue flames of forgiveness, not forgiving any of the people who've done any of the things, but we're forgiving ourselves, and we're forgiving, we're releasing the karma from it that is not ours. So yeah, we're going to shovel that kind of paper confetti, basically. At this point, we're just going to put that on the fire and just watch it burn up. And we're just going to keep burning that paper, keep copying, keep shredding. It looks like we're about halfway through that stack of documents already. And I've got like this automation going where there's just a tube going straight from the shredder, feeding the fire. And those blue flames are really, really eating it all up. So just going to kind of witness here, watch the rest of those. Looks like there's only about maybe 750 pages left. Just watching those go down to about 500. And then the last 250, like the last kind of half ream of paper that we stick on the top there. And we're almost done. So we just watch those papers go through the copy machine, spit those papers out, go straight into the shredder, shred it all up, and then the tube from the shredder goes straight into the fire, feeding that blue flame fire, taking all that karma out of our space, out of our, off of our planet, right? Okay, I'm just double checking that connection with that, with the copy machine. This isn't our coffee machine, so now that it looks like it's all done, I'm just going to disconnect the shredder, disconnect the fireplace. Gonna kind of let those just dissolve into the ether, and then that copy machine goes back up. We send that up into the cosmos, up into back to the people who steward the copy machine and who are here to help us process and release the karma. Letting that go. Oh my God, doesn't that feel so much better? Oh, I just got chills. Oh, that's, yeah. Oh man, you guys, yeah, this is so heavy stuff, and we have to not let the heavy weigh us down. We have to release it. We have to release it upwards. We have to give it to the stars, to our sun, and to the other stars that are around us to support us, because that is where, like, if we bury it on Earth, it's just going to grow again, right? It's just going to get it'll get composted and transmuted, but it's going to stay in the karmic environment of Earth, and we need this. I mean, it's an ancient evil that predates Earth, like I said. We need this to we want it to get off of the planet, right? Because it's a pretty great place, right? Aside from these fuckers, right? It's a beautiful planet, and we need to. I mean, I'd like to save it. I'd like to keep it, not surrender it to these motherfuckers, right? That's not even strong enough of a word. I'm not gonna. Yeah. I'm not even gonna speak any of the evils, because I don't want any of it to come into my house. But yeah, so we've released that copy machine back up into the stars, and we have kind of just let go of the rest of our equipment, kind of just blow it up, pop it, stick it out there. Yeah, and just check in with your space and see, how do you feel now? I feel a lot lighter. I feel so much more movement and more flow. If you've been kind of in a meditative state with me, you can just make, kind of wiggle your fingers and toes and give a stretch. Oh, yeah. Blink those eyes open, kind of come back into your 3D field right now. Yeah, that was I mean, just what we're doing right now, like the work that we are doing right now is divine work. It is the work, right? It doesn't feel like we're working, because the information that we're taking in is so heavy that it gets us stuck a lot of the time. But that's just like, that's an energetic charge that it has. That's not the natural response. And so we're here to just take it in, bear witness to it, see it, witness the people, the beings who have gone through this, the people who have survived and the people who have not survived, the souls that in some cases may have chosen to incarnate into this mess in order to bring light to it, in order to transmute it. And we're just here, like, holding space, right? We're holding an energetic container that is, I see you, I believe you, I love you, and I'm here for you, right? So that's what we're here to do. Yeah, I was going to talk about the book. So this is the book. It's called The Children of the Law of One and the Lost Teachings of Atlantis. Or on the spine, it's just Lost Teachings of Atlantis. So if you search for this on any of your bookstores, you can get it from that one, which is where I got it, I think, to be honest. Barnes & Noble thrift books might have it, but it's, let's see, it's not a major publishing house. Yeah, it's published by Evolution in Arvada, Colorado, if that's helpful for you. I picked this book up a couple months ago, kind of just assuming that it was going to be another, like vaguely interesting and, maybe some like more puzzle pieces to put together in my research. But holy fuck, y'all. Holy fuck. This book, if you engage with it, if you take it at face value, you don't even have to believe everything that's in the book. This is the book. This is the book. Like, this is it. Okay? Like, you don't need other books. You need this book. And I say that as an author, right? And I want you to get this book too, and this one, right? But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Like that's not as relevant to the moment. This book is relevant to the moment. What we have here is, like I said, in the kind of the meditative portion, we have an ancient order of, you can call them demonic, you can call them evil, but what they are is selfish, like service to self polarity. And that gets called darkness or evil or negative polarity, but like we're not talking about any sort of physical, we're not talking about like physical darkness, anything to do with skin tone. We're not talking about like masculine, feminine, negative, positive polarity, anything like that. We're talking about beings that have the service to self mentality, right? This is what we think of as evil. And that's maybe a bit more accurate way to term it, because evil is relative to who you are. And service to self is like, that's a universal term. So yeah, we have this ancient cult order of service to self polarity beings that literally rule the world right now. They have taken over everything since the 1990s. They've kind of really gotten the light beings, the positive polarity, the service to other, right? The altruistic polarity on the back foot. We're really on the back foot here right now. And the whole story, like the history of why we are where we are, is in this book. I'm going to talk about this book forever, I think. And I really hope that more people read it so that we can talk about it together. But I think the one thing that I want to talk about today is that there's an equally ancient, there's an equally powerful light order, good order, whatever, however you want to term it, service to other polarity, called the Children of the Law of One. And if that phrase triggers something for you, welcome back, right? Welcome back. Because reading this book like triggered something really, really deep in myself. And yeah, it's this ancient order. They've been living and teaching in a remote valley in Tibet, Shangri-La, Shambhala, whatever. It's real. Until the 1990s, when the other side, and their cult has a name. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to post it online. I'm not going to say it on social media. It's printed in the book. You can read it there. I don't want to trip any of the, read any of those. I don't want to say any of those keywords that might, because I think they have tracers on a lot of those words, not just in social media, but also just in in the ether. But yeah, so I think it was May of 1990, the good guys got wiped out. Basically, there was a massive military attack on the monastery. The vast majority of the members of the order were in a meditative place, they were elsewhere doing a retreat, and their bodies were killed. The vast majority. Some people survived. Fortunately, the author of this book survived to write it down. But it means that things have to change in terms of how the children are trained and brought. So basically, you join the monastery, you go through your training, you become literally enlightened, like Buddha style, like absolute unity with all there is. And then you go on to become a teacher, and then you help repeat the process, because when we incarnate on earth, we forget who we are, we forget how we're connected, and we have to go through this remembering process. And so it's basically like the idea of a bodhisattva, right? You're going to keep coming back until everybody is free. But yeah, things got kind of complicated when they destroyed the monastery. And so yeah, I just putting this out there, if you were born after May of 1990, and you had an early awakening experience before you turned 21, ballpark, but where you had like that, that illumination experience of seeing the world as it is, you're probably one of them, right? And so you need to read this book ASAP. I am trying to figure out how to proceed, because I don't know if I was part of this order, or if it's just something that really speaks to my soul, and I want to help bring more people into it. But all is not lost. I think that's the bottom line, is that right now things are really fucking dark. Things are really, really fucking rough right now. Especially the way that we see, today's Monday morning, we all woke up after this huge, horrific news dump over the weekend. We expected to see some sort of response on the grand scheme, but there's nothing, right? The markets are stable. Everything is just business as usual. And that's the powerful, I think it's, there's a woman, Aya Ra Psychic, on Threads and Instagram. Follow her. She has a lot of information about how, like, this is their way of saying that, like, showing off how powerful they are, right? Now you know the truth, but you can't do shit about it. And so it's up to us to do, and that's why I say, like, the inner work is the work. The path is, your path is the path. What we need to do, 33, what we need to do right now is process our own karma. And that includes this karma that we came here to witness. That includes, especially as we expand our field of view, our consciousness, as our consciousness expands and we become more attuned to the things that are going on in the world, the things that are going on underneath the surface, the ways that apparently that humans, and there are humans, just really, really fucked up souls incarnated into these people. They're not. Anyway, when we're bearing witness to what humans are capable of doing to each other, we have to stay centered, and we have to stay focused on the fact that this is why we came here. This is literally what we came here to compost and to alchemize, and continue to show up for yourself, continue to meet yourself, whether that's on a mat, on a cushion, at an altar, wherever it is that you show up for yourself, wherever you meet your spirit, your ancestors, your guides, your connection with universal spirit. Keep doing that work, and keep doing the witnessing work, because everything else is a distraction right now. once enough of us have gone through this this process, the outer work, the way forward on this planet will become clear to each of us at the right time. And there's lots of like affirmations and mantras and stuff that you can use from in this book, but the one that I like the most, kind of your mantra, or a mantra that I'm using is, it's that concept of thy will, not my will. Your will, God, not mine. And you can sub in whatever word for God, right? We're not talking about Sky Daddy. We're talking about all that is, universal source. Your will be done, God, not mine, in me and through me. Show me what I must do this day, and let me be a channel of your blessings to all. Your will be done, God, not mine, in me and through me. Show me what I must do this day, and let me be a channel of your blessings to all. So, thank you for being with me today. Thank you for being with me in this work, in this crazy time, and I hope that I hope this is helpful. And please reach out to me with any questions, and I hope that, we'll be together at some point. Thank you.